Hello, everyone. Welcome to July 26, 2016 edition of Voices of the Alternative World, a program that is part of the Diamond Network, which we have four conference calls a week now, and we have for a while. And this is number 469, reference number, if you would care to listen to it on your phone later on, and the replay number is 641-715-3813, and the access code is 883-267#. So we have the focus of tonight's show is healing, health and healing, and I would like to share a story, an experience that I had this weekend that was very gratifying, and this comes on the level of spiritual healing. And so I'm going to share about that in a little while. And we will now invoke the law of one, which will set the tone for the evening, and know that everything we do and talk about here is for the highest good of all concerned, because we are all one. And when one is harmed, all are harmed. And when one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask that only that which is for the highest good happen here and now and always. I give thanks that this be done. And so be it, and so it is.
Amen.
Blessed be. So we are in a certainly powerful transformational time right now. Sun is gone into Leo, and we just, I won't try to do a lot of astrology because Cynthia's much better at that, but I've been looking up the planets. We've got Venus in Leo, we've got Mars in Scorpio, and Saturn is still in Sagittarius, and it's retrograde, and Saturn really shows us where we need to work hard and do our thing. And not really hard, but just look deeply into what we need to change in our lives, the lessons we have to learn. And it is right now conjunct my Mars, which is interesting. So I am working on that, being assertive and just saying expressing myself and sharing what I need to share. And so we are right now in Nevada County. We're in a heat wave, and there are fires in California. So we're in the heat of summer. You can say that. And the strong energies coming through from the cosmos. There's solar flares, solar winds. And so we're all feeling it. We're all feeling the transformational energy and having various symptoms that can come up around that. And the best thing we can do is not resist or fight it, but we ride the wave, so to speak. Do our best to ride the waves and look deep within ourselves to see what needs to be cleared and changed, and feel whatever we need to feel, not get hung up on it, but just let it flow like the beautiful waters of our planet Gaia. Just flow with the waters. The waters are so cleansing. Waters are emotion, and emotion energy needs to move to clear our space and clear everything that needs to be cleared here on the planet. So with that in mind, it's in heart, we just have all the gratitude that we can for that experiences that are coming our way, and have a clear picture of what we want for ourselves and for everyone and everything, and for our planet. And and just put that picture out there and be grateful and know it's for the highest good of all concerned. So with all of that being said, this weekend, and this was, I feel, was a guided experience, because I don't just go after people that say they're healers or they've got a healing guru or something like that, unless it feels like it's been really guided. And how it felt guided was this wonderful friend of mine named Diane, who I'm just getting to know, but she's a beautiful spiritual sister. I called her about a month ago, and she told me about this woman who had gone down to Brazil to see John of God, and he's a shamanic healer in Brazil, and I'd heard about him before. People from my community had gone down to see him for a while, and so I heard about him and what he does, and, I never felt a strong, oh, yeah, I better go see him, I never felt a strong push like that, but with all of this happening the way it happened in this woman named Millie, she had pancreatic cancer, and she went down there and actually got healed of her pancreatic cancer. And there are many, many other stories about people that have gotten healed, and it doesn't always happen all at once. And, it can take time, and it's a process. And for some people, it's their time to go, so they don't get healed. But she told me about somebody who had a beautiful spiritual experience. She had cancer, and she did pass away, but she had a beautiful spiritual experience when she went to see John of God, and that was preparing her for a transition. So I did go to see this woman, and she lives in Paradise, California here, and Diane, my friend, was more than willing to come pick me up, drive over an hour from where she lived in Live Oak, and come and get me and take me there, because she hadn't met her yet either. She really wanted to meet her, and it didn't take that long. It took about an hour and a half from where I live to get to see her. And Paradise in the valley of California right now this time of year, it's not exactly paradise. A lot of orchards, but dry, very dry conditions, and there's fire off in the distance. But it was a very good journey, because we shared some very high level, deep spiritual communication before and after. And Millie told us a lot about her experiences with John of God and other people that had been down there, and very genuine person. She doesn't charge. She just asks for if somebody can give a donation, that's fine, but she doesn't have any set fee. She doesn't say, oh, I'm this great healer, you've got to pay me such and such because I deserve that. It's kind of like an ego trip. Some people will say that, and that's fine, but she's not on an ego trip. She just channels the spirit. She channels the God or creator energy, whatever you might want to say, call it. And that's how John of God feels, too. He says, I don't heal anybody. He uses the term God. We can use whatever is meaningful to us, but he said he has spirit guides that work through him, and he says it's God that does all of this. I don't do it. And he's been, apparently he's been initiated into this kind of work since he was a teenager, and he's now 70 years old. And you can find out about him on by Googling his name, as I did afterwards. There are quite a few people that take people down there, and they probably charge fees of people that take people down there. And Millie, she takes people down there now, and she would not be charging a high fee, I don't think. I didn't really ask her what she asked the people that went on the journey, but of course there's transportation charges and all of that kind of thing. But anyway, I had a session with her. I had a very beautiful session. It was very powerful, lying down on her table, playing this music, which went from all these different traditions, Native American, Tibetan, Hindu, through all these spiritual traditions. And she did prayer, she did energetic work with her hands, energy coming through her hands, and sometimes it lightly touched my body, and sometimes it was just above my body. And I've had these kind of things with people before, but this was very, very unique, because I had very strong sensations of energy moving and my aura expanding, and two of my chakras, she said, were spinning the wrong way when she was done. She showed me her pendulum. They were spinning the right way now. And so she showed me how her pendulum was moving. And I saw these visuals, and I saw these visuals like my etheric crystalline body when I was lying there, and I also saw a visual which appeared to be the double tetrahedron, the Merkaba, which has been a very, strong image for me, surrounding my body. It was that there, surrounding, and I could see the points protruding from the side and all that. So I saw that, and then I had a strong sense of the Native American music played. And, I saw feathers swirling around, me like there were Native American spirits there that were using their feathers, for healing. And I also saw some Hawaiian foliage, because that's something that I'm very connected with, the Hawaiian energy. And overall, it was just, energy shifts in my body, opening, felt very opened up in a good way, positive way. And I, hesitate to expect anything instantaneous to happen with my symptoms, which nothing instantaneous happened on the physical level, but I believe it's a process that will probably take time, and I'm just open for it to unfold, because I know something powerful happened there, and it felt very, very good and very positive. So I feel blessed to have met her and had that experience. And she is, I told her about the show we do here, and she's interested in being on it after she gets back from Brazil, because she's going to Brazil for much of August, and she'll be back near the end of August to see John of God and bring some people down there to meet with him and have healings. So that she was very excited about the idea of being on the show, so I really look forward to that. That'll be, as she was talking to us, I was thinking, wow, this would be great. People would love to hear her. And I feel that would be the case. So all of this being said, I'm not, I'm not following any, I'm not in the mode of following a guru or that kind of thing. It's just, this just seems like Spirit is moving through to guide Diane to tell me about this woman and to take me down there. It just went so easily in a certain sense. It just, she just felt so good about doing it. She wanted to meet her too. And she had, even though she didn't have a healing, she had a healing on some level, I'm sure, but just she wasn't worked on, and but she gained a lot from being there, just being there and conversing with Millie. And we both brought home. She does exquisite stained glass work, just really incredible work. And I brought home a pair of her earrings, and so I have some of her energy with me right now in my hand. Beautiful stained glass earrings. Just, I brought them home because I wanted to bring a piece of her back. She's human, and I'm not putting her on a big pedestal, but she was given this gift, and I feel very I feel honored and blessed that I was able to meet with her, and it seems like this will be unfolding more in the future. And she did bring pictures of me down there to share with, because John of God will look at a person's photo, and his spirits, his guides will look through the photo and see things, So, and he will give further healing energy through that. So, I look forward to much good unfolding here. So, I really did want to share that experience, and it just seems to be part of the times we're in, the transformational times. So if anybody has anything they want to ask me about this, or
it's a wonderful story, Sonny, and just the spiritual aspect of healing and wellness and health is something that the traditional Western medicine doesn't take into consideration as a necessary component, and that's a big mistake. We have to work on changing.
Well, it's gonna. Yeah, they're just so focused on the physiological and the so-called scientific. I mean, we need all those levels, but nevertheless, that's what they're focused on, and we need the emotional level, we need the mental and spiritual, and it's like healing is really a complete thing on all these levels.
That's one of the things that I love about Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, because their whole focus is prevention, and I think the major problem with health is our lifestyle, is actually the way we live. It's really a condition of war with our neighbors and with ourselves and within ourselves, and all of that is really, really unhealthy. It's the stress and they've been doing a lot of studies lately on the power of love and positive constructive feelings, how beneficial it is from a health standpoint. That really the emotion of anger and hate are actually contribute to the illness by the chemicals that they injected. The natural hormones. It sets up a condition of where your immune system is broken down, and really allows disease to, you're breaking down your natural immune systems and your chemical imbalances that prevent you from getting disease. So all of those negative emotions are very destructive.
Oh yes, indeed, they sure are. I mean, stress, tension, and all those things, that can really do a number on us. And I just, and sometimes it's just accumulated throughout our lives. So we have to just do our best now to turn all that around. Because things, the older we are, the more is accumulated. But it's, it's all in the now, and we can really focus on the healing right now and send out the good energy, the positive energy, the love energy. Even though we need to feel what we need to feel, but not amplify it and and project it out on others. Just part of the process of unraveling what we've stored inside of us that's doing all that harm to our beings.
And going back to PCRM, I was recruiting organizations that were based, had a plant food based philosophy, and I was engaging one of the representatives of PETA, which is a organization to prevent cruelty to animals, and I said, really, if you want a strategy to prevent cruelty to animals, you should be strong advocates of plant food-based diets, because if you stop killing animals, and that eliminates all the abuse that animals endure when they're through the process of being harvested and slaughtered and put in the marketplace. And also, what it does is it cleans up the one portion of the ether, is made to be positive. And we're the more we stop killing, I was explaining to her that that's a step in the right direction, because we have the capacity to decide to stop killing animals and abusing them. The next step is, let's stop killing human beings and abusing them.
Oh.
So there's a vegan festival up in San Francisco during the October one weekend, and I noticed that PETA is now an advocate of plant-based diets. And
they are, yeah. They have been for a while.
Yeah, and well, this was prior to adopting that, and so I'm really encouraged that's a big step, because that encompasses a huge organization with millions of people that are just struggling everywhere with the humane societies, and to take better care of the animals and not abuse them. So these are the from the standpoint of health and wellness, the spiritual and the physical. These are real things that are happening, and once again, PCRM is in there, with both loving hands, not fists, trying to convince the world to make this change. And it's just I can't say enough about it. And Misty, are you still with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. I was gonna ask you if you are in a position where you can give us a reading.
Oh, I can be in just a moment, surely.
Okay.
And I just have to go sit there.
So I think this is an appropriate place for a reading and a commercial break. And if you're prepared to talk a bit about the product that you're offering.
Surely, yes. I can. That's perfect timing, and right in line, because we're talking about plant-based diet, and there's a lot of health benefits. I mean, all the health benefits, really. So, one second here.
But Sonny, if you don't have a number, I've got one.
Oh, a number, the card number. Okay, well, you go ahead and give yours if something pops in. Yeah.
Okay.
The card number is 8, Misty.
Oh, 8? Okay.
And I just put together, it's the 26th of July, so I put together 2 and 6. And so lo and behold, once again, we're back to eternity.
Infinity.
Eternity.
Okay, hello. I got disconnected for a second, but I'm back. Okay. So, can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so card number 8 was card number 7, which is Growth. And it's Earth Element Pentacles. And it's a beautiful picture of a woman, and it looks like she's part horse. There are a couple of other horses running off in the background. The woman is like a blondish hair, and there are apples. She's wearing a green scarf with apples all along. It looks like 9. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 apples. And then it looks like a bunch of also flowers. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Okay, the keywords for this card are beginnings, talents, and employment. Oh, that would be great. The description is, this card is dominated by a woman beginning her shapeshift into the form and energy of a horse. The astral form of the horse has long been used for astral journeying. The horse also symbolizes protection, guidance, swiftness of movement, companionship, and overcoming obstacles. Through her efforts, one of the woman's arms has become a hoof, and her thoughts have melded already with the equine energy. On the woman's face can be seen the joy of accomplishment through her own efforts of understanding and using her inborn psychic powers. Running behind her in the streaming horse's mane and the woman's own hair are the fully formed images of a mare and her foal, symbols of freedom and endurance. Wildflowers of renewal, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, flow about her, mingling with her gown and the large stones in the foreground. Spiral markings cover the stones, representations of the inward path of spiritual growth that leads to wisdom and a limitless well of primordial power. So the prophecy for this card is, opportunities for new beginnings are swiftly coming to the seeker. Use them wisely and in a positive way to gain a better life for yourself. Employment or a new job can be yours if you actively set goals and take action. Inborn talents, both physical and psychic, can now be realized and developed. Take the initiative and prepare yourself. Will do, universe.
New beginnings. Always.
Did that hit home with you at all, Bill?
Well, the first thing is we're on a journey, and that means, we got to activate ourselves, and the aspect of wisdom is really, that's what we all desperately need, is a thorough understanding of the all-encompassing knowledge of the unseen and the seen, And my uncle expressed it. Knowledge is a knowledge of things, and wisdom is a knowledge of your Creator. And so this is the infinite wisdom and understanding we have to have. So we when we make decisions and we go places and we do things, that we take all into consideration. And so that it's exciting, because that means that we're going in to be in motion, and we're going to a better place, from a place of ignorance to a place of wisdom, and that's profound. That's my deepest wish, is that we are able to understand and follow wisdom.
Hi, this is Joan sneezing in. I'm sorry, I got the sneezes.
Oh, welcome aboard, Joan.
Yes, hi.
I didn't realize how late it was. I intended to come on. Peter's sick.
Yeah.
Sinus infection.
We normally get together on Saturday. When I called him, I said, well, let's just wait until next week. And we all say a prayer for Peter to get well.
He went to the doctor this morning or yesterday. I can't remember which. He must have felt terrible, or he wouldn't have gone.
So speaking of him, send him prayers. We always, he helps us to help everybody else.
Appreciate any light that you send him.
Sure.
And he didn't sound good Saturday when I talked to him. And they've had all those fires up in the Santa Clarita, and that smoke and soot is coming, drifting down in towards where Pasadena is. And so hopefully he'll feel better and we can get together this Saturday.
I heard on the news that yesterday the smoke from the fires was blowing into Pasadena, so that may be one of the reasons he's got this sinus infection. It's been fairly clear here. 2 days ago, it was very smoky.
Yeah, he mentioned the smoke in the atmosphere in Pasadena was really bad, so we just decided to postpone our visit.
Probably did. I'm sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead with what
I'm
you were
glad.
doing.
Did you hear my story about the? Did you just come on, Joan? Because I told my story about the weekend.
I did. How was your weekend?
Well, I talked about it just now. I mean, I told a story about it. It was very very special. But I don't want to tell it again right now because I already just did. But you can
why don't you call me and we can talk about it? I'm sorry.
Joan, just as you came in, Missy had read a card, and it was. Well, could you give Misty? Could you give Joan just a little synopsis of what the card stood for?
Oh, sure. It was growth, and it was about opportunities coming and talents coming to fruition and being able to be honed and used, and possibility of employment, and it's okay to. I guess I would basically say it's okay to kind of take off and use those inborn talents and start recognizing them, if not yet. Is that a fair synopsis a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was that was really it. The symbol of the horse that we were traveling, and within that journey, that there was the element of wisdom that we would be growing, and that we would be challenged to seek out and discover what our individual journey, what that was going to be, what that was going to consist of, and it's great because if we're moving towards wisdom, we can't be too far off.
Right, I agree with you.
And love, of course. That's you've got to combine the head and the heart, and be in that wonderful balance of divine masculine and feminine. Transform ourselves on our planet.
I wanted to give Misty an opportunity. This segment is on health and wellness, and Misty has a product that she's offering that she'd like to tell us about. And at some point in time, as these programs develop, we're going to introduce the commercial aspect, where we're going to be generating revenue through advertising. So this is anytime we have an opportunity where somebody has an appropriate thing to offer the audience, at this point in time, I really want to welcome it, because the next thing I was going to ask Missy is, have you got a website with a method of purchasing the product on the air, on the internet?
Yes, absolutely. So
okay.
the product, so the company is called Rain International. And let me just say that a couple of years ago was when I had definitely made the switch to being vegetarian, and I was exploring the health benefits of that, and I came across this product. I was interested in it for myself because it seemed to have a lot of really good ingredients in it, and it was all natural, non-GMO, and it claimed that it could help with pain. And it's an anti-inflammatory, and most, if not all, pain is inflammatory based. And excuse me, including a lot of illnesses are inflammatory based, and if you can take care of the inflammation, then I believe the body can kind of heal itself, and that's what it was intended to do. So I tried this product. It's called Soul, and I had at the time knee issues, and I have osteoarthritis in my ankle. I was in a car accident years ago, and I had shattered my ankle, broke my leg, done all kinds of things to my poor leg. But I left with osteoarthritis, so it will flare up, and I can't, I have to be careful what kind of activity and stuff that can cause it to flare. But so I wanted to try this product, and I did, and I was amazed because it's a juice. And I just rubbed it into my sore ankle and my sore knee, and I drank it, and it tasted good, and it absorbed into my areas. And I had my husband try it for his back pain. I just rubbed it in, and he drank it. And we were both completely amazed at just that, just a few minutes later, the difference we experienced. But let me tell you what's in this. In the Soul is black cumin seed oil, black raspberry seed oil as well, and Chardonnay grape seed. And these are powerful anti-inflammatories. And when you combine them together, the results that you get are just amazing. So after I tried it, then I started spreading it around and sharing it with my friends, and this is what everybody reported. Just a conglomerate of, I had a friend who had gout, and her gout completely went away within weeks. Her arthritis, she was taking it for arthritis and to try for arthritis in her fingers, and it worked from the very day one. I have a number of people that have taken it for that reason, fingers in arthritis, and they're amazed at how well it works. For myself, my pain went away in my knee, in my ankle, my husband's back pain. We all have better night's sleep, a feeling of waking up rested, and a better mood. And this was really weird. We couldn't. People are wondering, like, how can this help my mood? I'm just happier. It's something that people were noticing after a couple of weeks. And as it was explained, depression can even be caused by inflammation in the brain. And it makes perfect sense. So those are the main ingredients in that product. And then about a year later, this company came out with this product, which is called Core. And it's like a green drink, and it has all plant-based, all non-GMO and organic. It has aloe vera, dandelion root, spirulina, chlorella, cranberry seed, black cumin seed, wheatgrass, and a few other ingredients. And this is like a detoxifier. And I'll tell you, when I started juicing, that what was all involved with juicing, the expense of buying the organic stuff, and then juicing it, and then the cleanup afterward and stuff. I mean, it's like a process, and I was so grateful when they came out with this. I thought, this is great. This is a great, great idea. Apparently, when people take both together, they experience even more phenomenal health benefits. Just if they had anything going wrong in their body, it just seems to correct over time. And it's the body doing that, not necessarily the product, but the product, I feel, gives the body what it needs to be able to function properly as God intended. And then the last thing that they have is called Form, and it's a vegan, plant-based protein powder, and it has hemp seed and pea protein and chia seed, and it doesn't have artificial flavors and all that. There's no artificial anything in any of this product or any of these products. So anyway, the experience that I've had, my friends and family and other people who've tried it have had with these products has been great. And way to find out more about him, if you go online, you can go to www.myrainlife.com/Mistalin, which is M as in Mary, I, S as in Sam, T, I, L, Y, N. And that's myrainlife.com. And there's videos and there's information about the costs and the prices, and really I feel that they're very inexpensively priced for what they, number one, what people report experiencing afterward, after taking them for a week or two. And also, just for what they do, they're just amazing. And then you can also call the number if, say, you wanted to talk with somebody about it. You can call Rain International at 855-724-6606, and you can give them my Mistalin name there, MISTILYN, or Misty Frederick, and they can help you to order if you want to do that and answer any more questions that anybody might have. But that's about all I can think of for right now, for the moment. I know that people who have, when they take the soul, if they have like high blood pressure, if they have diabetes, they find that they might not need as much of their blood pressure medication or their diabetic medications. Hopefully they're monitoring those things anyway. But if they're on a medication, it's important to note that you could very well, your body could regulate, and you may not need that. So I really recommend monitoring that. And but if anybody might be interested in learning more about this, I just highly recommend looking into it. And feel free to check out that site, and my email address is on that site as well. So if anybody had any more questions, feel free to email me.
Yeah, Missy, could you repeat just briefly the email address once again and the phone number, just so everybody has an opportunity to make sure they got it?
Sure. Okay, so the phone number, Rain International, is 855-724-6606, and you can call and ask questions. And if you want to order, they can help you with ordering as well. Just give them my name, Misty Frederick, or Misty Lynn. And then the website is www.myrainlife.com/Mistalin. And that's www.myrainlife.com/MISTILYN. And then if anybody wanted to email me and ask me questions about it, you can do that too. And my email address is mistalinstar@gmail.com. And that is MISTILYNSTAR@gmail.com.
Okay, that's mistalinstar@gmail.com.
That's correct. And I also have videos and things about this product, from holistic doctor and also medical doctors. Some people they feel like they maybe want to get off of their medications. They don't quite know how to start. And so we never recommend anybody do anything like that. However, I do have a doctor who's also a holistic doctor, and he's able to talk with people about what their medications are and talk with their doctors if they want to learn more about what this is and how it could work with them and actually work with their doctors. I've come across a lot of people. I've talked with a lot of people about this, and like just personally, one-on-one, and I've gotten with them to medical appointments and stuff just to share the information and what do you think about this, and just so the doctors know that they're trying something new. But it's no different than the food. It's just a really healthy food that can really help your body.
Does anybody listening have any questions? Please press *6 if you're in the listening audience, and you can offer your question or comment or anything. So please come in and join the show. You just press *6.
And I want to say, too, there'll be, I think that, so a couple of years ago, I start finding out about these products, and I start noticing that there's a few really great products out there with different companies, and they're similar, but they're a little different. And I just think that these products, especially the ones that are non-GMO, they have good ingredients. The way that they make the product is humane and good, and these are very beneficial products. I think they're really here to help us, and to help us in a wonderful way. So I think everybody's kind of finding their own path, but for me, I like ease, and if there's an easy button, I'm always looking for it. So for me, this one is great. I haven't found anything wrong with the products or the company or anything personally, and I'm glad I have the experience with them that I have. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Misty. As we develop, as the program develops, we're going to introduce the commercial aspect and start a revenue stream so we can grow to a larger capacity. And anything that has to do with holistic medicine or health, and that's been proven beneficial by someone, and they can document it for us like you have. Then obviously anything that has to do with a plant-based diet, we're an advocate. Our program is an advocate of that, and that's part of the alternative world. That's one of the components of it. So everyone, please, anyone that would be interested in Misty's presentation of the products that were offered, please email her and pursue it. And thank you, Misty. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Dale.
And I just I want to part of the architecture, and I've discussed this with a lot of people that I have a lot of respect for, is that everything that's in place has got to be systematically deconstructed as we're constructing the new world. And the fact is that the money system is ours to use for that purpose. And, that's kind of fun. It's counterintuitive because you said we're going to be using a money system to build a non-money system, which is there's a bit of irony in that, but it's the fact, and it's the easiest way to do it. And so this is the this is actually the beginning of introducing the commercial component of the program. So once again, Misty, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Dale. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to bringing, more and more products and stuff, to light and stuff. I have interviews scheduled, and because I think that there's some wonderful, amazing products out there, and, they're going to call to who they're supposed to call to.
Yeah, exactly. We got to talk about this, and if nobody has any comment or question, I've got Dr. Bernard's blog that he gives on his newsletter, and I encourage everyone to join PCRM. There's no charge for subscribing to the organization, and I'm a contributor, but that doesn't mean that you have to be. It's just that there's a mountain full of information regarding nutrition and plant-based diets. It's in their recipes that they offer. They have a monthly recipe, and it's always followed by all the nutritional content of that and what you're getting. And so, if you follow their diet scheme, you're going to be receiving all of the nutritional requirements that are for good health. And that's one of the things a lot of people say. Well, I'm going to be vegan, and they don't do any study, and they end up getting sick. And so there is a component you have to know. You have to eat properly, and there are all the things found in the plant world that are in the animal world, and even far more beneficial. So if anyone wants to have a comment or a question, then please step in.
Well, yeah, that's very good for all of you that have shared, and thank you, Misty. And I believe that that the world is changing, and people don't really understand that eating that way can be really tasty, and just eating really. There's so many wonderful recipes out there, that things that we can do. It's just very enjoyable to eat all these wonderful kinds of foods, and you can't just just eliminate meat and dairy and animal products, but then eat junk food and not pay any attention to to chemicals or GMOs or any of that stuff, because we need to be aware of all of those things as well, and what's put in our food. And so many of us are looking. We want to have the food products labeled non-GMO certified and organic, and no pesticides, herbicides used, and because all of that can poison our bodies. And then our bodies have to work extra hard to get rid of those toxins. So that's just an addendum, to the vegan thing. Yeah.
Well,
but our bodies are amazing, and they really work through all the terrible things we give it.
Well, they are, but we should. Yeah.
I really wanted to squeeze this in because it's really appropriate, and this was from Dr. Bernard's weekly presentation, and when you subscribe to the Dr. Bernard's blog, then you get these. So this week is entitled "Meat and Dairy Subsidies Make America Sick." Government food subsidies, including meat and dairy products, are damaging the health of Americans. According to a study just published in JAMA, that's the Journal of American Medicine Association, Internal Medicine, it's a problem we're working to fix. The first study, conducted by researchers from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and Emory University, found that current federal agricultural subsidies focus on financing production of food commodities, a large portion of which are converted into high-fat meat and dairy products, and other items that increase the risk for cardiometabolic risks in American adults. Researchers followed 10,308 American participants from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey and measured the percentage of calories consumed from subsidized food, body weight, blood pressure, inflammation measures, and cholesterol levels. Those who consume the most subsidized food, including high-fat meat and dairy products, were 41% and 21% more likely to be overweight and have elevated blood sugars, respectively. It gets worse. Subsidized meat and dairy products also lead to early death. In a related study, Harvard researchers found that eating more saturated fat, found primarily in animal products, was associated with increased risk of death. Children's health also pays a toll when meat and dairy producers profit. Last summer, a report, Who's Making Money from Overweight Kids, took a look at the subsidies in school lunches. We found that in 2013, the U.S. Department of Agriculture paid more than $500 million to 62 meat and dairy producers for beef, chicken, turkey, pork, fish, dairy, eggs, and lamb that ended up in school meals. So where are the subsidies for disease-fighting fruits? So where are the subsidies for disease-fighting fruits and vegetables? They receive just a fraction of what goes to meat and dairy products. Maybe that's why new USDA findings show that Americans are eating fewer fruits and vegetables than they were a decade ago. Congress is already starting discussions on the 2018 Farm Bill, which oversees subsidies, and will be working to encourage the federal government to alter agricultural policies to address America's diet-related chronic disease epidemics. And I was mentioning at the start of the program, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine does two things. They have a legislative component where they are actively involved in getting the scientific evidence before Congress and the Senate and the government leaders that prove that the source of many of these illnesses is because of eating animal-based diets. And so there is a movement, and it's a strong movement, and it's strongly supported, and needs more support. Always can use more support. So the momentum to get diets changed to plant-based diets is there. The institutions are in place to cause it to happen. All we have to do is get in line and support them and help them gain further success. So having said that, if there's any questions or comments before we close the show, I want to pause here for a moment to give everybody an opportunity to speak.
Does anyone else? Yeah, online here that haven't. Okay. Anyone else that wants to speak that hasn't spoken, or have anything to add? Yeah. Okay. Well, I just I know that health and healing is multi-leveled, and we sure need to take care of our diet and the physical plane, and we also need to have be in positive emotions as much as we can, and process our negative emotions, but not to get stuck on them or project them on other people. And so it's such a multi-leveled endeavor to get well and to get healed. And I do agree wholeheartedly that the least harm we can cause our other beings, the more better off we are, and this includes animals and other humans and our earth. So to live in harmony with our planet and all other beings on our planet is really what we're aiming for. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Well,
thank you. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Once again, Missy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh, just that I was resonating with everything that you were saying, and I appreciated Sunny's story about her experience this weekend, and it was just a nice call. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, Misty, and thank you for your sharing, and everyone else. And Joan, I'm glad you were here, and the very best to Peter to get well.
Yes.
Definitely.
Blessings to everyone. Highest good of all concerned.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next Tuesday, and we'll hopefully Peter will be feeling good, and we can start focus on the issue of spirituality. And so thank you everyone for coming to the show and participating, and thank you Misty and Joan and Peter. I know you're not here, but you're here in spirit, and we'll sort of send a prayer your way, a healing prayer, and that you get well. So good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Are you looking for healing or a change in your life to help you enjoy it more fully? You might benefit from a galactic energy reading and clearing from Chris Jacobs. Chris will work with you on a soul level to clear unseen negative influences, implants, programs, contracts, and energetic blocks. Chris Jacobs is a gifted energy healer. Contact him today at ChristopherStephenJacobs@gmail.com.